if you haven't got a blanket at the ready for later, or some socks even, you know, now's your last chance to kind of get it, because it's so nice to come into. Yeah, and what I was saying earlier, kind of when a few of you were dialed in, was, you know, make your yoga space, whether it's a kind of, you know, slither of your bedroom floor or, you know, sitting room or whatever, you know, set the scene, make it a sacred space for your practice. You know, when I practice in here on my own, I will light a candle, I'll try and sort out nicer lighting and all those little things, and you kind of mark it and make it more sacred, I think, for your practice. Right. Also, oh yes, quickly, I was going to say, if you haven't got one of these eye pillows, they are brilliant and not very expensive. So it might be worth a little investment, because, you know, they are a wonderful thing just to place over your eyes. And seeing as we're in here for the long haul, perhaps it's worth it. A little bit of investment in an eye pillow. Okay, right. So get yourself comfortable in a seated position. As always, if you're knackered and actually you want to lie down, just lie down. And it's a meditation can be done lying down. It can be done, you know, shuffling back where you've got a little bit of support, because there's no point in entering into a meditation if you're going to be, you know, stiff as a board thinking, God, my back hurts. Okay, just get yourself comfortable. But what I want us to take in our seat, in our posture for meditation, is that imagery of the tree. And I've talked about a plant stem before, but I think I want us to feel more kind of solid and grounded than that. So the imagery of the tree in this posture is that we're planted and we have these roots that hold us down, and there's the energetic tether of gravity that keeps us grounded. But also, you know, there's no difference, and we are not separate from, you know, nature, trees, plants, animals, fish, humans. We're all nature, so let's honour that and kind of just start to feel that grounding through your seat, that being held to the earth, but also that kind of strength and pride in our posture. Just let the hands rest on your legs, and for the purposes of this meditation, just have the palms open and the fingers just gently relax. So they'll do that sort of gentle curl thing, which just let them be there. And then the eyes close if they haven't already. And you begin to notice your body and your breath. It takes a little while to kind of get into the headspace of meditation. So we set it all up, all the conditions, and then we just simply follow whatever is happening. And it might be that you're drawn to discomfort in the body. It may be that you're aware of a busy mind or thoughts or such like. So we just open ourselves and let whatever be, whether it's any of those things. And really the key is just showing up on your mat, and then showing up for yourself in whatever way you arrive. This is where we begin. So the breath slowly moves in and out of the body. Maybe when we start to notice the breath, it's not the smoothest, deepest breath you've ever breathed. But that's, again, it's okay. We relax our bellies so we can breathe into the belly. And just slowly let it unfold. It takes a while. Relax the face, the jaw. When we show up in meditation in this open, non-judgmental, observing kind of way, it somehow, because we're not coming up against anything, we're not judging anything that's happening or coming up. Maybe the breath is tight. It's okay, the breath is tight. Maybe it's a bit choppy, a bit shallow. That's okay too. So it's really what I want us to feel is that there's no, I'm doing this meditation right. I'm doing this meditation wrong. I'm just doing this meditation. And I'm open. And I'm here. And we're breathing. We'll be here for another few moments. So let yourself feel that plane of contact. Do you notice anything from when we began, when you just came into your first meditation, at the very beginning? And so again, we're not judging, we're just, maybe there's more of a sense of grounding as the breath starts to become slightly more, you can tell I haven't taught for a month, I've got no words. Maybe that's a good thing. So we arrive, the breath is there, it doesn't matter what it is, we're open to just being. Tonight's practice, I really want us to move into a really grounding, earthy place. It's a real junction, September. We've got the changing seasons, upon us. A junction for many other reasons as well. And so when we kind of feel these junctions, January's another classic, it can discombobulate us. So a really grounding, relatively simple practice is sometimes of real value. So we'll take another few moments just to be and experience and breathe. Let's take this sort of stillness into our practice. So if you're sitting on a block, it might be, or a cushion, it might be worth just moving it out the way. And if you're not, don't worry. If you've got any discomfort in the legs, just simply change the cross of them. We're going to stay seated for a little moment longer. Just take the shoulders and circle them round. What I'm hoping that you feel is, I mean, maybe you've been practicing all through the summer. That's great. Maybe you haven't. Either way, it doesn't, you know, whatever we just accept with whatever we are and we've arrived with. Keep rolling the shoulders and then change the direction. So I'm hoping that we experience together a kind of freeing and opening. Okay, keep rolling the shoulders. A freeing and opening that hopefully will just simply feel good. So if you haven't changed direction, change. If you have, you know, do another couple of rotations each way. And then we do a side stretch. But we start with just reaching up the right arm, lengthen it as far as you can, up, and then slowly over. And then come up and simply on the other side, but set it up well. So lengthen and reach up, so you're sort of opening up through that side waist, and then over. And then back up. Okay, I'm just going to spin around so you can see the side on of my spine. But now we take the hands behind us, just to support, and it could be, maybe it's you're more comfortable on your fingertips or the hands are flat, but you simply lift up your sternum, which is right in the center of the chest. Lift up the sternum. You're not trying to arch the back. You're trying to just lift the rib cage, the sternum, and then if it feels comfortable, you take your head back. So you simply get a stretch all the way up through the front of the body. Then the head lifts, and we just come forward. And it might not be a big forward fold, doesn't matter. We just simply start to walk the fingers forwards. And there should, you'll feel this, well, generally, the rule of thumb is you feel it wherever you're tight. So it doesn't matter. I mean, you don't have to go any deeper and further than it feels like it's doing you good. And it is, as ever, that kind of type B fun where you know it's doing you good, but maybe it might feel like there's good pain. Right, so now we lift the legs and just hold onto the fronts of the knees and let the ankles and the feet circle. Toes wiggle. Ooh. If your ankle's anything like mine, you can hear the pops and cracks of the joints. Okay, then hands slide behind the knees and you very slowly round the spine and gently come onto your back. Bring your knees up to your chest. Have a little rock. This just feels good. Good for back maintenance. Relax your jaw. It's kind of like taking off the mask, isn't it? We can let all the facial muscles, that's hard to say, facial muscles soften. Let go of the expression into happy baby. And again, just rock if it feels good. If you're on a really hard floor, sometimes good to have a couple of yoga mats rather than just one, because it can be a bit punishing on the spine. Or if not, actually you haven't got 2 yoga mats, you know, a blanket, again, just a hand is a good thing. Okay, so hands back to the back of the knees again. And I want us to kind of rock, sort of a few times, several times in fact. But we're not trying to, you know, gather too much momentum. We are simply rocking, getting a bit more blood flow in the spine, letting our nervous system recover from the day, the week so far, the last 6 months, who knows. And then slowly roll back, your next roll, and stay down again. This time we release the legs up. So maybe they go to a straight position, maybe they need a little softness in the knee. Don't torture your hamstrings, but do rotate your feet round. Really move your toes and point and flex. And just do whatever it is that feels really nice. It's always good to get your legs up. As we know, it helps that draining of the lymph fluid. Wiggle your toes, free up the joints. Really good crack. Okay, so then I'm going to start rocking again. So this time you've got a choice. You can either go for the hands at the back of the knees, which means you get a kind of, you know, that's slightly easier. Or if you want to challenge yourself, you take hold of your big toes and you need a little bit more welly for the big toe hold. But start to rock again. Either way, whether you've got your big toes or hands at the back of the knees. Relax your face. So we're heading into a squat, and you've got a choice to see if you want to do it all in one go, or you can simply come up and just get yourself into a squat. So it doesn't matter how you get there. I mean, it's quite fun to see if you can do it out of a rock, but really, and everyone's squat looks different. And you can only see mine and yours. So mine might not look different to yours. Mine might look completely different. A couple of things that are important is that we're not forcing the heels down. If you've got something to wedge underneath the heels, that's quite nice. You've got book to hand. You might just be up there. This might look a bit more like this. If you've got really bad, or hopefully you haven't got really bad, but if your knees don't like it, you can do a squat like this, okay? You're still getting, you know, good work for the knees. And it is one of those positions that it's great to do if we can do it. And, you know, we all want to be being able to squat like this when we're 90. So if we don't do it when we're, however old we are now, we're never going to do it when we're 90. So we've got to keep doing these things. Bring your hands to the floor. Keep the weight in your seat and see perhaps if you can reach your fingers forwards. Maybe drop the head. So I know that you all know this, but that rule of thumb of, you know, good pain is fine. That type B fun, you know, it's doing you good. It might not be immediately fun, but you know, if there's any searing pain, if it just doesn't feel right, it generally means it's not right, and you need to ease yourself out of whatever it is that you're doing. Because above all, you want benefit, not injury. Obviously, that goes without saying. So we walk our hands back. And what I want you to do is slowly lift. Keep them, as soon as your heels can come down, if they aren't already, drop them down. And let the tailbone lift up. And coming to in a sort of half squat, half forward bend. Let the head be heavy. So really it is just dangling off your neck. Let it move a little bit, side to side. Relax the skin of your face. And then maybe onto fingertips, perhaps, or, you know, hands, arms, forearms onto the knees, whatever feels better for you. But certainly have a wide-ish stance, wider than your hips. Spread your toes. So we work towards some sort of leg straightening, but it might be that it's much better for you to have quite a big bend in the knee, start to sway side to side. Maybe you slowly start to lift the sitting bones up further, but you still keep that sway. Okay, it's really important just to ease ourselves in. A couple more swaying movements side to side. Then come back to the center. Okay, really plant those feet down. And I want us to slowly, slowly have a little bend in the knee. Unfurl. There's this particular, and then reach up and have a good stretch as you reach both hands up. There's this particular walk that I've been doing and run for the last 6 months, of which there are loads of ferns and brackens. Slowly roll back down to your forward bend. And over the last 6 months, it's really interesting because in spring, they're so fresh, these ferns, and the sort of bracken type things, and they kind of, you watch them unfurl slowly in this kind of unraveling of this spiral. Reach up and have a good stretch, and we go slowly back down. And then now, as we head into autumn, they're kind of going brown and slowly drying out. But, you know, I love this time of year. I'm a big fan of summer, but I also love, actually I love all the seasons, to be honest, but let's keep going. That's slowly coming all the way down, then slowly unfurling like that fern. But you know, the trees this time of year are stunning, and I really love that idea that everything changes, okay? And you see it so much in nature. You know, their trees are letting go of their fruit, they're letting go of their leaves, returning to the earth, preparing themselves for winter. Okay, we'll do one more. So maybe the stuff that we need to let go of. Jesus, I mean, I feel like I've picked up some baggage in the last 6 months. I think that everyone's been affected, so we process it and then we let it go, like trees letting go of their leaves. So then let's take hold of our right hand with the left hand, so right wrist rather, lift up and then just reach it over, so you get that firm through the feet, firm through the legs, but you're reaching and pulling that side stretch even further by gently pulling on that wrist. Come back to center. Go to the other side. Take hold of the left wrist. Reach it up and over. Let's repeat that. Come back. Take a big inhale. Reach up and over. Come back. Change. Okay, come back. Great. Right. Oh, sorry, I'm going to get my hair up the face. Right, we're going to come to the top of our mat. Repeating my hair. And step down the mat with the, well, actually it doesn't really matter, but let's see if we can all, actually, so let's try and get all on the same page, because then, so this little sequence is going to be starting with just the legs. So we don't worry or concern ourselves with the arms in any way. And I want us to start with the hips facing forwards. So I've got my left leg back. So if you, obviously I'm rubbish at lefts and my rights, but I've got my left leg back. But really what's most important is that we just listen to kind of the footwork, the posture, because it will make sense, I promise. Hips are facing forwards, back heel lifted. And we do 3 gentle pulses, letting that back heel drop, so getting deeper into that warrior 1 legs. And then just lifting a little bit through the back heel, and maybe straightening the front leg. And then drop again. Try and keep this back leg as straight as you can. Lift up and just pulse down. So from here, we're going to slowly turn into warrior 2 legs. So that back heel drops. We keep that front knee from knocking inwards. And then we pulse here. Okay, so getting just a little bit deeper. Dropping through the hips. You can have your hands on your hips if you're comfortable. More comfortable like that. And then we go from our warrior 2 legs to a wide, deep squat, Kalyasana, okay, and we pulse here. And again, hands can be on the hips, on the legs, they're just incidental right now. So 3 pulses. We're going to start to shift to the other side, warrior 2 legs. So the back leg is now what was the front leg. And so hopefully it'll make sense. We're going to mirror, pulse. So from here, we're going to turn to face the back. So we're now warrior 1 legs facing the back. Good. 3 pulses. Back heel lifts, drops. Legs hopefully starting to feel. Good. Right, then we turn. We're warrior 2 again. Keep breathing. Turn. Kalyasana, 3 pulses. Maybe getting a little bit deeper. Turning the knees out as far as they will go. Maybe start to feel perhaps a little bit of heat. Warrior 2 legs. Okay, back to that first side. And then face the front. If you're like me, you might have to jump your back leg just a wee bit in. So we've got warrior 1 legs. And step up. Shake your legs out. We are going to repeat that. But what I want us to do, first of all, is just let the legs have a little bit of time to recover. So we slowly come down. Hands to the floor. Step back. And just take our first downward facing dog. Or child, whatever might feel better for you tonight. But if you're going to be in dog, just let it be that soft padding of the feet, stretching out the back of the legs, lengthening through the spine and the side body. Maybe letting the hips wag a little bit. And then you'll get a chance to come into child's pose if you haven't already. So come gently down and let yourself sink. Forehead rests. And these pauses are so important. You let your forehead rest. We don't want to excite our systems. We want to stretch and free and release and strengthen, but in such a way that when we finish our practice, we're in such a good place that we can go and slip into a wonderful, deep, restful sleep. So, we rise slowly from our child's pose, the toes tuck under, we gradually draw the hips up and back into down dog. And then again, pad the feet forwards. And slowly begin to roll up to stand. So we can stay on the same leg because we've actually done it both ways with both legs. So what we do now is with the arms. So left leg steps back. We know it's warrior one first. So we're going to keep pulsing. Reach the arms up as we inhale and then gently drop down. Twice more. Just lifting and then dropping gently into a deeper warrior one. And then we transition into warrior two. Okay, and again the pulsing. Move with your breath. So into that wide squat. So turn, use your feet, use your ankles. So the hands can stay on the hips, or if you want to really get that, feel strength of the Kali Asana, the Kali, the goddess. Okay, hold your fists together, but you're open and pulse. Ooh, warrior two, other side. Get the feet moving, get the ankles moving. Really reach through the fingertips, strong legs. Heading into warrior two. Sorry, just testing, warrior one. So we turn and we reach. Breathe in, lift the back heel, exhale, gently drop the hips down. Twice more. Open to warrior two. 3 pulses. This is good servicing stuff for the hip joints and the leg muscles. So if they're starting to feel challenged, good. Kali Asana. Let's just gently pulse. So we bring that kind of softness to our fierceness. Because even as good yogis, we need a little bit of both. Softness but strength. Warrior one. So hopefully you see the symmetry each side. Release the hands down and step slowly back. So you've got choices if you feel like your body needs a little bit of down dog walking, then do that. If you feel that actually you need to really take that time to gently come to your knees and rest down. Let the palms rest up. Let the forehead come to the floor if it's comfortable for your neck to do so. Breathe into your back body if you're in, if you find yourself in child's pose, that real expansive breathing into the back ribs. Slowly rise. Toes tuck under. Downward facing dog. Slowly walk your feet forwards and begin to unfurl. We take one more side stretch. I'm just going to turn around to face you so you can see. Take hold of your wrist that you're going to stretch from, lengthen and come over. Just hold it for a moment. Then use your core to bring you back up. Reach up and over. And come back. So it's nice, hopefully you sort of feel that kind of warmth and sort of coursing through the body. I want us to do it one more time. Hands onto hips to begin with. Step back. So we have the warrior one. Reach up, pulse. We open to warrior two, Virabhadrasana, 2 and pulse. Really reach, drop the shoulders down. Feel like you've got that little strength and length up through the neck. Kalyasana. Nice, deep, wide squat. And that feeling like you're shrink wrapping the muscles round the bones in the joints. Open to warrior two. Maybe you start to get a little bit deeper in your warrior two. We're going to turn warrior one and pulse. We come back the other way, warrior two. Kalyasana. Nice and deep, strong legs. We want power from our legs. Warrior two the other way. To get that nice kind of September glow. That there's still strength and heat in the sun when it's out. So we feel that right now, hopefully on the inside. And then gently come down, hands down. Ooh, step back, squeeze the legs together. So you've got choice. You can head straight into child's pose if you need a nice gentle break, if you're easing yourself back into practice, or you rock forwards and backwards in plank. Legs together, squeeze the legs together. Don't worry, if you're resting in child, it's because you need to. So that's honouring your practice tonight. And then the knees come down. And we all rest down. Take a few more breaths. Let it be expansive in the back body. And then we rise. Take the time through cat, all fours. Just into dog as a means to get to a wide-legged forward bend. So we step a foot forwards and then walk to the long side of the mat. Feet stay parallel for the moment. Hands down. If you need your knees bent, please just bend them. And slowly, just go bend one knee, come up, head to the other side. And come up to center. So again, if you need a little bend in the knee, that's fine. But if you're sort of heading into straight legs right now, I want us to walk forwards. So if we walked forwards with the hands, we'd take some of the weight in the hands. But what I want us to do is feel like our sitting bones are drawing as far back as we can. We've got someone heavy holding our hands down and drawing your sitting bones back. So if I do this side on, you'll see that actually I'm not forward like that. You want to be as far back as you can be, drawing the sitting bones back, and yet creeping the fingertips forwards. push the sitting bones back, so you're lengthening your own spine, giving yourself a really good stretch. And then walk your hands back. Heel toe the feet in, heel toe, heel toe. And then come down onto your knees. And so if you're not comfortable sitting like this, then just, there are options. You know, don't torture your knee joints. Again, you know, sit forwards with them if you've got any trouble with the knees. The other thing that you can do is have a cushion wedged between heels and buttocks. Okay, that's a possibility. Right, so here, in our kneeling variation, let's just take one hand to the behind you. So you're just sort of supporting onto the fingertips, and then the left arm or the other arm, doesn't matter which side, just gently reaches back. And you're starting to drop that, in this case, it's my right shoulder, the supporting side. So you get a little bit of a twist, and then you come up, and if you want to see it from this side. So the other hand is reaching back, but then you get a little bit of a twist because you drop that shoulder, that bottom shoulder. And just go side to side and play with it. There's no right or wrong. There's no, you know, you could sort of do a sweepy movement into it, or you can actually get a bit more of a back arch and just play and see how it feels to open up through your armpit, to open up through your chest, to lift the sternum, okay, to really get that stretch and almost kind of reaching back in a sort of twist as well. If you want to go a little bit further, and please, it's so important that we honour what's right for our bodies and stop when we need to stop. But what you can start to possibly do is lift through the hips one way, and then do come forward, don't go all the way around, and the other way. And then as and when you're ready to come out, you come forwards. So finding that central space in your mat, and then just move the hips. Time to kind of check in. A little bit of cat, a little bit of moving, circling the whole spine round. So it could be a linear cat, it could be this kind of slow circling one way, and then go back the other way. I just think you get a little bit more out of it like that, rather than that kind of linear movement. But you know, I love cat-cow as it was originally used. And then sit back on your heels. This time I want us to do a twist. So if we start in the seated position, and then let's send our left leg forwards and have the right knee bent. It's quite hard actually if I'm wearing black leggings. You can't differentiate between legs. Maybe I need to get very big. One leg like red and one leg blue. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so we've got the right foot on the floor. Let's use our hands around that right knee to lift, okay, and strengthen and straighten up through that spine. Don't let this foot go to sleep. Wake it up, foot flexed. Wrap the left arm round. Inhale, lift the spine, and exhale, rotate. So you're using that hand round that outer knee to get as deep a twist as is right for you. Great to help the organs do their work of detoxification, which they do anyway, but it's good to have a bit of help. As long as our livers function, quite dubious at times, they will work hard. So come back, and they do detoxify, that's what they're there for. It's a bit controversial, isn't it? The old detox diets aren't actually necessarily needed. Anyway, I didn't say that. Okay, left hand comes behind, right hand, just right elbow just rests. So you might just think, I'm just open here. This is a good twist the other way. Okay, other option, always options. I'm going to hit my head on the cabinet. You lift. Okay, so just see if that's going to work. So you do it if you want to, and if not, you know, you're just in that really lovely twisting the other way. Nice. Let's change sides. So we go for the closed twist. So we lift up, wrap the right arm around the left leg, so we're going the opposite way, and we start with this rotation. Breathe and lengthen. Exhale and rotate. So we ease out of that, and the right hand comes behind. Now, if you're just going to do the opposite twist, you've got that elbow on that knee, and you can rotate the other way. If you want to go a bit further, then you lift the hips, lift the sternum, and breathe. Don't hold your breath in these challenging poses. It's important to breathe. Knees down. Nearly there, nearly there. Let's slowly come onto our back. Roll down. You've got to squeeze your knees in because it's so lovely just to let yourself rock. And the legs have worked pretty hard, so just have your hands resting on the knees. Your feet and your ankles really relaxed, and just roll the legs around, roll the hip joints, the femur head and the hip joint. Maybe the knees flop wide, in a kind of half happy baby. Maybe they come together and you rock. Always some new feeling when you come onto your back and you roll around. Possibly my favourite thing to do in yoga. Oh, that'd be hard to know. Favourite thing in yoga. Answers on a postcard. Okay, reach the hands out and just let the palms face down. They're acting as your anchor. And we come gently into a twist. And just stay. So the legs don't have to come all the way to the floor. If you want a softer twist, you have your feet on the floor and you just gently let the knees drop a little bit to one side. The stronger twist is knees higher up towards the arms. Slowly ease your way out and come to the other side. Remembering maybe it's easier and nicer to do a more gentle twist. So reminder, feet on the floor and just drop. Or if you want a little bit more, knees come up towards your elbow joint. And then knees back. Just because we've worked the hips quite strongly with our standing sequence that we repeated, I want us just to do Supta Baddha Konasana for a few moments, where the soles of the feet come together and the knees come wide, and then the arms are wide. You know, if there's any pain or discomfort in the shoulders, have the arms further down, closer to the body. But if the arms are comfortable, it's quite nice to have this kind of opening across the chest. Breathe into your belly, let it be expansive and full as you take your breath in. We're using the diaphragm. Exhale, empty. So our next posture is Shavasana. Now if you're ready and you're warm enough just to slowly stretch the legs out, please feel free just to go for it. But if you want that time just to grab your blanket, get your eye pillow, get your lighting right. Actually, if you've got an eye pillow on, it doesn't matter, it could be whatever. But you know what I mean, take time, put socks on, get comfy, maybe nice cushion under the knees. It is worth kind of setting up, which is why I would suggest that you get all your bits ready at the beginning so that you can just, you know, slide your eye pillow on, pull on a blanket, and settle down. I'm going to just turn my light up a little bit. Okay. Good. So we lie flat out. You know, but obviously if there's modifications needed, knees bent, etc., for backs, knees, please just modify as you need to. And when we do this kind of grounding, earthy practice, we need to feel the earth. So we need to feel our body on the ground. We are held. So just bring your attention to those areas there where you feel the ground, that contact. And okay, we might not be lying out under the stars in the actual earth, but we can visualize that. There's a real softness to the earth that there wasn't maybe 2-3 weeks ago. But if you've been outside in bare feet in the last few days, there's that slight give, that softness. And when the earth is like that, you can almost imagine, if you were to lie in it, that you would make just a slight indentation. So as you breathe and as you feel your body on the ground, imagine that you are just gently sinking enough just to be making that indentation in the earth, U-shaped. Letting your head drop gently, slightly deeply. The shoulders and the arms release down, making that little imprint. Your back, hips, legs and feet. And then you stay, just letting the breath flow in and flow out. With your awareness resting on that breath, just lightly. So you're not obsessing about it. You are just like, like when a butterfly lands, and with your awareness just gently lands and stays with your breath as you're gently held by the earth. Picturing the stars above you, the earth beneath you. Breathing. Stars above you, earth beneath you. Breathing. So really gradually, I'm going to begin to that process of moving once again. But just start with the fingers and the toes. Maybe a gentle reaching of the arms over the head to lengthen the body fully. And then in your own time, slowly come up. And we will just seal the practice. But you know what? If you're lying down and really comfy, you can seal the practice lying down. What is, it's lovely to practice with you on a Monday night. And I know that we're not in the same room. And I know I do apologise, I do waffle on. But hopefully you feel that connection. And it's not just, me, but it's also all these other lovely yogis in and around. And we're actually all not that far away from each other. At the beginning of lockdown, there were a few rogues coming in from New York and wherever. Not so much these days, that's okay. But it's so lovely. I feel really honoured. I do feel really honoured to guide you through. And also I do want to say is that as you know, you sign up for the term, and so I'm teaching now in person Talk H on a Wednesday and on Thursday. I'm going to be Zooming, so if you want to do triple yoga every week, please feel free to dial into both of those daytime sessions. It's 9:15 start. I'm hoping that it's going to be seamless, doing it from Talk H. We'll see, there might be a few technical problems, but there'll be people in the room. There'll be real other people, yogis, doing yoga with us. But you're more than welcome. This is, you know, it's a real great honour to teach you and to guide you. And if you want more yoga, and it's quite nice to do it live. I like doing it live, otherwise I kind of, I'm a bit lazy, I don't do it. Okay, confessions. Right, so thank you so much for practicing with me this evening. I hope you have a beautiful, blissful night's sleep and get a nice, good, grounded rest in. Thank you. Namaste. Shanti. Shanti. Shanti.
Thanks, lovely.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Helen.